Since Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning comes out this Friday, I'm watching every single film in the Mission Impossible franchise. And today I watched the first one for the first time. There's 7 films currently in this franchise, and I've seen Rogue Nation, Fallout, and Dead Reckoning. I haven't seen any of the other ones. I saw half of this movie like a really, really long time ago, but I never finished it. And as somebody who's only seen the latter films of the franchise, it's really interesting to see how this franchise got its start, its roots, you know? Because this film is a lot more spy-y, if that makes any sense. Sure, there's a lot of spy stuff in the latter films, but it feels a lot more like an action-adventure, kind of Indiana Jones, but in modern day, you know what I'm saying? And being that this film came out almost 30 years ago, it's really interesting to see all the different spy gadgets from that quote-unquote era. And I enjoyed this film as a start to everything. Ethan Hunt as a character is really interesting in terms of just like, you don't really know anything about his backstory. It's not important. You just sit with him the moment you're presented his team and everything that goes down and everything that he personally has to deal with. And his really motivations are all you have. You're immediately snapped into this espionage operation that goes awry, and Ethan Hunt has to deal with everything from that point on. I don't know why I don't want to get into spoilers of a 30-year-old movie, but he gets framed. Something happens to his initial team, and he gets framed for it, and he has to work his way around to fix and also get revenge, you know. I think juxtaposed to a lot of the recent entries and how that plot structure kind of works out, it's nice. It's a little bit more grounded, less stakes. Also, this was directed by Brian De Palma, legendary filmmaker, Scarface, Blowout, everything. So there's a lot of great shots in this. There was a split diopter shot that I took a picture of like I was at a fucking concert. It was great. The scene that this is famous for, obviously him dropping from the ceiling. It's done really well. It's silent for most of it. It really builds the tension. Most of the action scenes in this film are great. There's a little bit less than you'd expect, but especially the end, it's really well done. You can kind of tell where they put most of their money. Still a globe-trotting adventure. You still have the team dynamic. Partially, Jon Voight's in this movie, and he's kind of I don't really give a shit. He's like a twist villain. I don't like him as a person, and I don't like him as a character in this. The twist is kind of contrived, and a lot of this stuff is revolving around the actual framing of Tom Cruise. Ethan Hunt and like just the general MacGuffin is kind of convoluted, which took me out of the film a lot. I feel like that's a problem with certain spy movies and sometimes the Mission Impossible franchise. But I think as a start, a lower stakes, this was really good. I also enjoyed when I wrote my Letterboxd review for this. It gave me this little mission compromise. This review will self-destruct. I fucking love little Easter eggs like that. My goal is to watch the rest of these movies in a 3 to 4 day span, so follow along if you want to see that. Very excited for Final Reckoning.